Hey guys, it's Stephen here, back with another video. It's the day after Manchester City's very tepid, very sleep-inducing 0-0 draw at Old Trafford against Manchester United. I think it's fair to say that that was an incredibly forgettable, incredibly boring, and incredibly dull game of football, but there was still plenty to take from that game. So as ever, here's your 5 things that I personally took from this game. Before I go too far though, I want to say please do hit that subscribe button, help support this channel, get EK to 50k. I want to get there, I want to get to 47k first, and I'm only like 50 subscribers off to 47,000, so please get me there if you don't mind. Help support the channel with hopefully lots of reasonable, rational and entertaining Manchester City content. But let's start with the first point, and I think to me this is actually possibly the most crucial point really, the point that potentially could have changed how we perceived yesterday's performance and maybe perceived the season as a whole so far, and it has to be that simply we are not lethal at all. In general, in front of goal, I think that still continues to be our biggest weakness. Now, we didn't create loads of chances yesterday, but we certainly created the kind of chances that can win you a game if you are focused, if you are feeling ruthless, and if you're anyone else other than Man City at the moment, I guess. Now, we all know, given the chances that we had yesterday, if United had had those chances, if Spurs had, if Liverpool had, they probably would have scored the goal or two at least. But we know at the moment City are incredibly wasteful, and it's just not down to one person. A lot of people will turn around and go, we need a better striker than Jesus, which may be kind of true in front of goal, but I do want to slightly defend Jesus. I mean, it was his incredible run that did set up Mahrez and De Bruyne chances in the first half. I mean, I literally remember him laying a chance on a plate for Kevin De Bruyne, and I think he also put in some of our most dangerous kind of crosses in the game as well. So basically, he was involved with an awful lot good going forward, and he had one chance which is kind of scuffed at. Not great in front of goal, but I can't just lay the blame entirely at his feet. You have to look around and look at others too. In particular, for me, Kevin De Bruyne has been far too wasteful for someone who is our best player in front of goal at the moment. I mean, I saw a stat, we had like 30 odd shots from goal, from open play without scoring, and yesterday he had some chances that he really needs to be burying as well. He's just as wasteful, and he's throwing his arms up in the air frustrated, understandably I guess to an extent, but they've got every right to be frustrated with you in front of goal as well, Mr. De Bruyne. And it isn't just him, of course. Mahrez missed a chance, our midfielders aren't getting forward and supporting the attack anywhere near as much, and I reckon yesterday if we'd got a goal, it would have been seen as a masterclass, I guess, maybe. I have calmed down an awful lot because I was frustrated yesterday that we didn't go for the jugular, but I can't deny the fact that if we'd scored one goal yesterday and kept a clean sheet, everyone would have gone, bit boring, but that was composed, that was professional, and that was a clinical performance in terms of game management, but it didn't happen, and that continues to be our biggest problem. There's some rumours recently that we're going to try and break the bank for Haaland and ignore our hatred of Mino Raiola, and I hope that's true because Haaland would have definitely scored yesterday. I guarantee Haaland would have scored, and we would have been sat here talking about a good victory away from home, which does kind of lead me on to the second point, which is about a kind of a cautious Pep Guardiola. We're seeing a different Guardiola at the moment. He's always been very pragmatic, and he's always been one for overthinking, maybe potentially, and though I guess he has the credibility, the reputation to back that up, and the trophies and the stats and all that kind of stuff. But yesterday I think we saw a very cautious Guardiola, and you only have to look at his words after when he was asked about the substitutions. Now, after the Liverpool game, where obviously City fans wanted him to go for the jugular and go for the win, he was asked about the substitutions and he said, I decided to maintain it and not move the structure, i.e. don't make any changes to positions and how the game's going. Then after United yesterday, it was very similar. A journalist asked him what he thought and he said, my decision. I saw the team, the players were there, we were sharp with Kevin, with Gabby, with Raz. In the last minutes we had chances on the side. I decided to maintain it, not to move the structure. It was my decision. So there we go, basically he was defending it. And I think it was notable that the one change he did make was very much kind of like for like. He was a winger on for a winger. I know Torres and Mahrez are different kind of players, but there was no kind of change to the structure, no kind of change to the system, and nothing that would have upset the balance of the team. And this season, and I think he's been burned by last year, and especially the Lyon game in particular, we're seeing Manchester City reinvented as this cautious team that do anything they can not to concede a goal. And to be honest, it is working in one area, but it's a little bit maybe too Too passive in other areas. I mean, I do personally believe to win the best trophies, you have to be cautious, but you also have to have a slight sense of adventure. Fortune favours the bold, after all, as the saying goes. And I do believe at the moment Guardiola is a little bit inside his head, and maybe he's thinking a little bit too much about respecting the opposition. He talked at length post-game how it's Man United, it's not easy to go there. But I would kind of counter that by saying, look, Leipzig did that quite comfortably, and many teams have done that quite comfortably. Maybe he's right. Maybe we've gone a little bit more for the jugular. United would have countered, and we would have lost 1-0, and everyone would have been fuming. But as it is, I don't know. I like my City teams aggressive and bold. At the moment, we've got a cautious Pep. It could play into our hands, and I can't deny that in some places it has been very useful, including the next point. Clean Sheet FC. 6 in a row now, which is a club record, which is very, very impressive. I can't deny the fact that at the moment, Manchester City's defensive capabilities are absolutely wonderful. We are just very good, We don't concede big chances, really. Maybe 1 or 2 per game against a good team, which is fair enough. And we, every time we step on the pitch, basically, we're not really going to concede a goal. We're not going to give away sloppy possession in terms of in defence. We're going to be really solid. We're going to be basically really composed on the ball. And we're seeing that in terms of the upturn in form. And John Stones, who yet again was fantastic, by the way. And Diaz, who just feels like he's been there for absolutely forever. Who gets everything right all the time and is an absolute rock and been a fantastic signing so far. And even though it has come at a cost, I guess I do wonder if we're going to look at a Manchester City side that starts to be a little bit like the Liverpool side that chased us down at one point. I know we tipped them, but you got to bear in mind, Liverpool at one point, they bought in Van Dijk, they got an awful lot more solid and started just to kind of grind out results initially until they found a bit of attacking fluidity. And I do wonder if we're in that transitional stage now where, even though there's no excuses given the money we've got, but we are in a stage now where we're trying to improve our creativity and our fluidness in front of goal as we've improved our defence. I do wonder, by the way, what it would be like now if we had David Silva, genuinely. David Silva, with his intelligence and his game management going forward, with this new defensive stability. And I do think it's something that we could have worked out as well, even without a double pivot. I think we would have been a different beast entirely altogether. It's a shame, isn't it? Fourth, for me, I learned that width is crucial. Yesterday we saw a return to the inverted life, and I genuinely felt it kind of it definitely hampered us a little bit going forward. We weren't seeing Manchester City stretch the pitch. We weren't seeing absolute natural width. We were seeing all the players come in, all the fullbacks kind of come in and dart into the middle, and there was no natural overlapping. Now, I'm not sure if this is by design, and Guardiola decided to go, do you know what, I don't trust United on the counter, so I'm going to be strong, I'm going to be stable, and not have my fullbacks overlapping. But there's no denying to me, anyway, that our football recently has been at its best when we played with an actual bit of width, a left footer on the left side like Mendy overlapping, or maybe a right footer on the right wing or something like that. And I do think it's crucial to us scoring goals at the moment. Hopefully we discover that. Hopefully we start playing Foden and Torres left and right if that's going to be a situation that will work for us, because I do believe that is going to be massive for us in terms of scoring goals. And finally, I guess, and this is dedicated to myself as well, and lots of people, is that I think we're going to have to be a bit patient, really. Watching my match reaction video last night, I was very frustrated, but it's very much in the moment because it's a derby. You want to see a bit of passion. And I think in general, I was frustrated at football. I was frustrated at how empty and how pointless a derby had become and how it filtered through into the players. Looking back at my mood last night, I could tell I was just frustrated by a lack of spark and a lack of something that actually meant something. Football and life at the moment is absolutely shite. I can't even deny that. Obviously, things are so depressing given this pandemic and given this lockdown, and I guess you want to see a little bit of escapism from football. You want to see a bit of energy and a bit of fight and a bit of kind of tenacity, but we got the most soulless, most jobs worth of derbies. A derby that meant absolutely nothing seemingly to anyone, and it was so boring to watch. And I think that's what spilled over into my frustration personally. There was a tweet yesterday from Dan Burke, who's a regular on my channel on the City socials, where he said football at the moment feels like just watching 22 blokes do their job. And it does. I know exactly what he means by that. Everything feels like they're going through the motions. And I understand that. So this is why I think we have to be patient. Because players at the moment, there's none of that emotion. None of that kind of give and take with the crowd. None of the thing that makes football actually interesting. I saw a video the other day with Phil Foden when he was there. And it was with my good friend Paul Welsh, actually. He interviewed him about derby moments. And every time there was a clip with a big moment, Phil Foden commented, oh, look at the crowd. It's great. And he kept talking about how much he missed the crowd. crowd and the fans. And I guarantee you that most players currently, even though they're professional and they'll crack on with it, I do believe football isn't quite as exciting for them, which I think is why football currently looks so fundamentally boring at the moment. So basically my point, and I kind of deviated a bit from it, is that I think we have to be patient, and include myself in this. I think we have to be patient as fans and realise that one, football's a bit weird at the moment, so the intensity and the passion isn't naturally there. And two, I guess, we have to be patient because we have fixed the defence, and I don't for one second believe that Guardiola is fully happy with the fluidity going forward. He may pretend he is, but I don't think he is. I mean, he wants to score goals and he wants to create chances and win games. He won't be happy with the lack of clinicalism in front of goal. That's not even a word. He won't be happy with our sloppiness on the ball going forward either. But obviously he'll put on a brave face, and I think he'll be happy with a general pragmatism around the defensive structure at the moment. But I do think we have to be patient because I do think it'll get better. That doesn't mean you're not allowed to be frustrated from yesterday, because I was particular as well. But I do actually think there'll be brighter times ahead. So guys, hang on in there, basically. Thank you very much for watching this video. Big shout out to all the Patreons who help make this channel live and survive, and also the YouTube members, and also you there, you in particular, you there, for supporting this channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and get this channel to 50k. When I get to 50k, it'd be absolutely wonderful. First, 47,000, very close. Give this video a like. Let me know down in the comments what you make of yesterday's game and how you're feeling today. And thank you very, very much. And also, there's going to be a player ratings video for the second tier YouTube and Patreon members as well, coming up not long after this. In a bit.